And we are live. Welcome to the Dialogues About Death show, episode 27. Chris, can you believe
Wow.
it?
27. How
27.
time flies over the last year and a half,
When
of
you're
us
having
doing all these
fun.
shows. Absolutely. We're
Wow, wow,
loving it.
wow.
We're
Well,
loving
today
it.
we're talking about a really cool topic, Chris, because
Yeah.
we're going to be, I love this. Like, you actually coined this, and I was like, you're a brilliant marketer. Um, Movie night in the mortuary.
Yes.
On
Yeah,
November 7th,
that's
we are
right.
celebrating Day of the Dead, and I know I say it wrong,
It's
Dios dels
Dia
Muertos.
Dias del Muerto.
Yes, which is a beautiful, beautiful ritual in the Hispanic culture,
Yes.
honoring their loved ones that have passed away. And so
Yeah.
we're showing Disney Pixar's movie Coco. We've licensed it to show it absolutely for free.
Yep.
And we're going to have free popcorn and free beverages, and we're going to be showing it in the Corona Chapel.
Yep.
And I'm just so excited about it because we're going to have, 150, 175
Yeah.
family members in there
Yeah.
watching the
Yeah.
movie with us.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people have asked me for years, it's like, oh, can we do like movie night or can we do some cool event at the mortuary? And then I coined, movie night at the mortuary. It kind of like has a nice kind of coin to it. And then we said, hey, let's just do it around Halloween, do Coco, and just bring in the community. We have so many neighbors in our neighborhood around the funeral home. I said, hey, they can walk there with their kids. And we'll just have like a nice event, and it starts. Lineup starts at 6:30. The movie will start at 7. It's about an hour and a half. You'll be home by 8:30, 9 o'clock that night. It'll be a fun evening on a Friday night with the family, and it's free.
Yeah.
So come on out of the house. Come on down to the funeral home. Mortuary night, movie night, Coco. Looking forward to it.
I love it. I love it. Fresh popcorn. It'll be so much fun.
Yay.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Okay. So if you guys want to register, I'll put this in the comments too, so it's easier to see, but you just need to go to this link because we have limited seating.
Yes.
No, we can't fit everybody. It's going to be first come, first serve, but the people letting in the room have to be registered because we just are, again, trying to monitor. So we have
Yes.
enough popcorn and enough beverages
Right.
for them as well. So I'll put this, like I said, in the link, and you just need to register, and it doesn't cost a dime.
Nope.
But make sure so we just know the head count, which is awesome.
That's correct.
Yes. And on that note, why we are talking about this subject today, which is how to use food, music, and rituals to remember and heal. It's kind of around the theme of the Coco movie because that is the whole point, is like, how can we honor those that passed away? Because I think I've learned through all the funerals that I've been to and then working with you for the last couple of years, is that people don't want to forget their loved ones. Like people always think, oh, I don't want to mention their name to bring up bad feelings. No, they want to remember. And so by having things like their favorite music playing or the favorite meal or recipe that they use or, what ritual. So we're going to talk about that today. So if you have a ritual that your family has used to help remember your loved one, we would love to hear that. So put in the comments because we'd love to shout you out because it might give an inspiration, some ideas to other families that are looking for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all about sharing and coming together. And, and there's two takes on this today. It's about sharing and remembering your loved one for the service and ceremony that we're doing, like a memorial service or a funeral service, but it's also remembering your loved one after the service. It's that first holiday. It's that first anniversary, that first birthday after they've left, of remembering your loved one. So that's what we want to do is talk a little bit about that when we're having gatherings. But first we'll talk about maybe how we remember the loved one that they've left to memorialize them during the funeral ceremony.
I love that. Well, let's get to the questions. Thank you, Grace, for being on. I love it. Yeah, we're so excited about this movie coming up because there's something about also doing things in community. That was our show last month's theme, was the power of community and why it's important to come together, especially when you've lost someone, because you need people. We're built for community.
Yep.
And
I'd have to say the last 6 months or even this last year, since the beginning of January or so, our community is finally coming out. We were in that dark time there a couple of years ago, and people were all enclosed in their home, not going out. And then it took a year or two for people to kind of get out of it.
Right.
And so now I feel people are really energized. It's like, yeah, let's get back out in the community. Let's get involved. Let's
Yeah.
see people and talk to people, and especially our younger generation. I was just listening to some articles on the news the other day of how students and younger people are getting more engaged, more going out and
Oh,
coming out. They said the mental health is going down because people are getting more engaged. They're getting out in the community. So I
I
thought,
love
oh,
that.
what's some positive light on news, because news is always so dark and grim and gloomy and stuff. They're
Right.
saying, hey, the mental illness over this last year is starting to trend back downward because people are getting more community and getting out. So I thought, thumbs up to that.
Thank you. That is really heartwarming
It was some good
because
news.
right, as parents and grandparents, congratulations. I didn't even
Yeah,
ask
thank
about
you.
how your sweet
Yeah.
baby, you saw him this week. Um, oh, are you pulling a
No,
picture? No.
I
Okay.
was, but not now. We'll do it later.
That's fine. But it's true. We want to have hope for the next generation and help them be able to cope. And I think through community, it is possible. Let's get into it. Oh,
You
and then
bet.
before we have another. Oh, wait, here we go.
Do we have a few people here?
Yeah, so Gracie actually said
Good.
that she made her grandpa's meatloaf the other night,
Ooh,
and it
nice.
felt so special to follow along with his handwriting to feed
Oh,
my family. Yes, she did do that. It was
yep.
really cool, and she was honoring him with that, which was awesome. So thank you for that insight, Grace. That's awesome. Okay, so let's start with the first question that came in,
Sure.
and it's a little bit longer than what I have here, so I'll read this. But the question was: music often evokes strong emotions and memories.
Yeah.
In what ways, Chris,
Yeah.
can choosing a particular song or creating a playlist become a ritual that honors life, helps those grieving, and opens a space for healing? And I'll go off so you can answer it.
Sure. Man, that's such a great question, because music is really personal to every individual. You know, I like all sorts of music, but when we're putting music together for a funeral, that's one of the questions we ask families when they come in about their loved one. It's like, hey, it's like, did they have any hobbies or interests? It's like, what was their favorite type of music? And years ago, when we did funerals, it was very liturgical. Liturgical means it was very like churchy. And it was like always just like the Amazing Grace, How Great Thou Art type of music that we would play at funerals. And it was just like the same thing all the time. But with technology and times changing, in the early 2000s, we still had like CDs. And back in my time, we still had like cassettes and 8-track tapes. And we would put music together and we would try to customize it for families and say, hey, what's their favorite song? Did they like some rock and roll, or did they like country music or something? And man, back in the days, in the old days, we had to like take individual cassettes or CDs and stuff like that and put one song in at a time and then have it queued up just right. So we had to cue that song for the service. And it's like, oh boy, it was like timing was everything, and we had to hear when the pastor was introducing the song. But now these days, with streaming of music, it has really made it just seamless. And it's wonderful, because then what we could do is we could almost ask AI anymore. Hey, Johnny loved some country music, and his favorite artist was Garth Brooks or this or that. And we could just pull it up and say, what are the best funeral themed songs under Garth Brooks country music? And boom, it'll just give us a custom playlist for that person. Or we can even just say to the family, say, what is the favorite artist and things like that. And we can just create on a thumb drive or just load it right up onto the computer and customize it. And what we also do is, in addition to customizing it to music, we'll even customize it to a video tribute that we'll put together. And we do those at Thomas Miller Mortuary also, where we'll do custom video tributes in addition to the music. And then we also give that to the family at the end, so then they can have it as a keepsake afterwards. So when they go back home, they can throw it in their computer or on their smart TV, and they can watch pictures and have their favorite music. And we could do it, and it doesn't cost the families anything. It's all part of the services that we offer at our funeral home.
Oh my gosh, I love that. 'Cause
Yeah.
yeah, because I think something that you and I were talking about before the show is that people can create their own playlist based on their family or their loved ones, music, and have it be playing like over their Alexa, their Google
Yep.
thing or
Yep. Yep.
whatever. But I love that, Thomas Miller, that you create it for them,
Sure.
and then it's all done, and then by seeing their pictures, it's almost, like and again, we're not talking about this, but an Ofreda during Day of the Dead,
Yep.
they honor with physical pictures and frames and
Yes.
flowers and their favorite food. And so by having that video with the music, it's kind of like they're honoring them anytime they're wanting to revisit that. And
Yep.
I love that.
And it's nice that, we deal with so many different cultures in our community. So we get so much different culture type of music. So we get Hispanic music, or we get Middle Eastern music, we get American type of country music, and we get some hard rock and roll music. So it's really great with all the ethnicities that we serve. We hear and are exposed to so much cultural music. It's just awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. In fact, I was reading one of your Google reviews recently. There was someone who it was so generous. They literally was like 3 paragraphs long of how
Yeah.
thankful they were that you specialized and helped. They were a Sikh family,
Yep.
and that you took the time to make sure that all the rituals that they were important to them were.
Yeah.
I'm going to tear up. Literally,
Yeah.
it was so beautiful
Yeah.
because they were calling out people at your in your team that
Yeah.
really stepped up and made it so customized, and everything at the chapel was geared to their family and to
Yeah.
their faith. And that's nice because I think a lot of people just think, oh, it's always the same, like you said, liturgical.
Yeah.
And the fact that you make it so it's something personal so that they'll always remember. And that person in the Google review, I mean, literally, if you're looking for a funeral home, go check out the Google reviews because you're going
Yeah.
to see what people say. And sometimes there's negative ones, and that's okay because
Absolutely. We're
sometimes
not
things
perfect.
happen.
We're
No,
not perfect people, and sometimes, and there's personality clashes. Sometimes we'll meet with a family, and they'll meet with one of our directors, and it doesn't all work. We're not perfect,
right.
but we have a 4.9 rating, which is almost perfect.
Right. Exactly,
It is.
exactly. Which I love. Yeah. But it's so inspiring to me to read what
Yeah.
people are saying from their heart, and they're taking the time to
Yeah.
put that out there like that. That's a beautiful thing. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get to our next question. Oh, we do
Yeah.
have another comment. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Thank
Hey,
you.
Steve Areno. Good to see
Rito.
you.
People actually think that's his real name, which is so funny.
I
It's his
Wait a minute.
nickname.
It's not. What?
I know. I
Come
know.
on, Mary.
Clutch my pearls. Yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
whoa. Easy there, Mary. It's early.
All right. So let's get to the second question that came in
Yeah.
again. We just have the beginning of it, and I'll read it to you, Chris. And so it said many rituals around death are traditional in public, but what are some of the small everyday rituals families can use, like in the kitchen, the home, or playlist, as we
Sure.
mentioned, a memory box, to keep a relationship with the deceased alive, not just in memory, but in daily practice? And I'll go
Sure.
off screen so you can answer it.
Yeah, there's a few things. For me, I know we've put it out. I just decorated the house here a couple weeks ago for the holidays. You see a couple pumpkins here behind me and stuff. And uh, my wife loved the holidays. She loved Halloween, and she especially loved Christmas and decorating the house. And so I still have a lot of those types of things. So it's every year when it's that time of year, I start bringing out some of the decorations. It kind of reminisces the times that we decorated the house together for the holiday. So there's little trinkety things around the house that I've still kept to over the years. I've added a few of things that personalize it for myself, but I really like the touches and things. There are certain things around the house that just little pieces of artifact, little pieces of jewelry, or like my wife loved angels, and I have a couple little angels around the house. Like every bedroom has like a little angel in it. And I kind of think of it as my guardian angel, that she's in every room of the house having a little guardian angel. So, you might think about that. If there was something that your loved one was especially loved, that you would tie in around your house, is just keeping their thought and their memory alive. And it's like, people come into my house all the time. They're like, oh, they still see a little angel here, an angel there. They don't ask what it is. But for me, I'm walking by and it's like, I just know that little angel is a reminder that my wife is still around in the house, and kind of keeping an eye over me. So keep those little trinkets or mementos or things alive in your house, and it keeps the memory of your loved one alive.
I love that. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, Rhonda had so many things that were unique,
Yeah.
that makes me think of her as well. I
Yeah.
Every once in a while I'll see something, and anyways, she was such a dear woman.
Yeah.
But on that note as well,
Yeah.
when I was a little girl, my cousin, who was my same age,
Mhm.
he passed away of cancer. We were
Mm.
4 years old,
Yeah.
and his mom, and I didn't know this. My mother told me this years after, is that my aunt kept a little of one of his toys in
Mm-hmm.
each of the rooms of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband was a little sensitive and he didn't want to talk about Billy.
Sure.
And so, because he got so emotional about it. And so for her, it was a way to keep his memory alive by keeping his toy like in a bookshelf or
Yeah.
on a nightstand. She had just a little toy, and
Yeah.
it didn't make her husband uncomfortable, my uncle, but
Yeah.
it filled her with a little bit of a glimpse
That's right.
of Billy. And I'm going to get all emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so I think it's
No,
so
but
important.
absolutely. And it could be like I said, just a favorite little trinket that they held on to or something that you just put around the house. And it may not be everywhere around the house. It could be just maybe in your bedroom or your bathroom or a living room, or it could be just one little trinkety thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just something to keep their memory alive and just kind of like keep that connection going.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Alex checking in. Good morning,
Good
Alex. Nice
morning.
seeing you.
Good to see
In
you.
fact, you reminded me, Alex. So something we didn't talk about is that next week, I know
Yeah.
we're talking about Coco the movie on November 7th, but the week before is Halloween.
Yes.
And we are going to be participating in the Dos Lagos Halloween event.
Yeah.
We're going to be decorating our booth. It's going to be really,
Spooky.
yeah, I know. So there might be some authentic items from the funeral
Oh,
home there.
whoa,
Just
whoa.
teasing,
It's
teasing.
a
Um, teaser
teaser alert.
that will be like, oh, for people. So a lot of kids are coming through. They're expecting like between 5 and 1,500 people. We'll have lots of candy, and we'll be
Yeah.
handing out invitations to the Coco movie. So
Yep.
I'm so excited. So again, mark your calendars. If you don't like, a lot of neighborhoods aren't getting like we don't get a lot of kids anymore coming to our neighborhood.
No, last year I think I had 2 trick or treaters, so it's like I'm not even going out to buy a bag of candy this year. It wasn't even worth. I end up eating the candy myself, and I don't need to eat the candy. So
Me too.
this year I'm just going to keep the light out and just go out in your community. There's plenty of beautiful community events, and
Yep.
it's safer. You're with groups of people, and and again, we talked about community. It's so important to just go out and see other people anyway. So
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. I'm so glad you said that. So yeah, so come on down. Dos Lagos, which is right off the 15 at
at
Halco
between
and Wyrick.
yep,
Yeah.
Halco Wyrick or Dos Lagos Drive, either one. It's right in between.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I just meant off the freeway. But
Okay.
yes, so come on out, get some candy, come see our booth because seriously, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you like this. We have so much community next week that, and then the week after the Coco movie,
Look at that.
which is awesome. And then while I'm sharing dates, our next show, Dialogues About Death, is going to be on November 21st, and we'll be talking
That's
obviously about family, more family things about tradition of the holidays and things like that.
absolutely.
Okay, let's say to our third and final. Oh, we have another comment.
Yeah.
Oh, Pal Binder joined us.
Paul Binder.
That's
Oh,
awesome. We love
thank
Pal
you
Binder.
for
I want to
coming
thank
on
Chris Miller and
today.
his team for incredible sensitive way that they treat the Sikh and Hindu community. That means a lot to us.
Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you, Paul Binder.
oh, that's awesome. And yes,
That means a
and
lot. Thank
your
you.
team does do such a good job. Okay, awesome. Thank you for recognizing that. That made our day. Okay, so for the last question of the day here today, and by the way, if you're on live, ask a question, or as we asked earlier, if you have a tradition like Paul Bender, you might be able to share of how you keep your loved one's memory alive
Yeah.
after they're gone. We would love to hear it.
We'd
That's
love
the
to
theme of the
hear.
show. Yay!
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll give you time to write that down. Anybody who's live, and let me read the last question here. Again, it says, how do cultural traditions, for example, food offerings, music styles, ancestral rituals,
Yeah.
shape the way families remember and heal? How might families adapt or personalize these traditions when they don't neatly align with their own background and beliefs?
Hmm.
So that's an interesting question. So
Wow.
I'll go off screen so you can answer.
Well, that's very interesting. I would say though, it's everybody. Sometimes we have blended families, we have blended cultures, we have blended religions and stuff like that. We have a lot of families that are like second marriages and blended families and stuff. And so sometimes people will bring their traditions and their cultures together. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with creating a new tradition in honor of your loved one. You know, um, Thanksgiving is coming around the corner. And for years we always my dad started to. It was the year before he died, or so he fried a turkey, and he would never really fry one for the family. My parents were part of the Corona Boat and Ski Club. It was like a motorhome group, and then they would always go traveling like a week or two before Thanksgiving, and he'd always fry the turkey for the group, but then he would never fry one. But when he got home, he'd always talk about, oh, it's like I fried this turkey. It was so delicious. Everybody ate it. I mean, they licked the bones clean and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, why don't you do that for us? And so after he passed away, I'm like, I'm going to fry a turkey. So ever since my dad passed away, I have fried a turkey every year, and it is delicious. And so culturally, it's like there was something he did that he never really shared with us, but I brought it on to do it for our family, and we've all appreciated it. But now, last year, I smoked a turkey for the first time, and then people really dug that, and they almost liked my smoked turkey more than my fried turkey. And I had them both, so they had a comparison. So I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I'm on a conundrum. I don't know if I'm going to fry one, smoke one, or I just do both of them again because I just love to cook. But that's one of the things about cultural things. I would say that's you kind of stumped me on this one this morning, Mary. When it comes to bringing different cultural ideas, I know I would just say with your culture, if you're opposed to something, there's nothing wrong with maybe not doing something that your loved one loved, but if it's something you do for yourself or your family in honor of your loved one, it's just about keeping their memory alive. And like I said, family gatherings, if you do traditions, maybe, people usually only get together for funerals and weddings, but maybe there's other times throughout the year that you can get together and create your own memory. Like I said, with us doing this movie night at the mortuary, it's an event. Create an event for your family that you might all want to do to remember just not your loved one, but maybe everyone. Maybe you've lost other aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews, or you've lost a young child or something. You come together and maybe have a day, a birthday celebration for those that have left us. And that's kind of what the Coco movie does, with Day of the Dead. It's memorializing all those loved ones that we've lost and remembering all the things that they brought to for what we got here, to how we got here today. So the cultural part of the memories of the past are trying to bring them here to the present. And so that's what I would do is, as a family, create your own tradition, create your own cultural tradition to memorialize your loved one and make it unique. Make it so it fits for your family's needs.
I love that. Great
Yeah.
idea. We also had Alex who shared an idea. She said,
Yeah.
how about finishing a goal of your loved one?
Oh,
I
that's a
like
great idea.
I love that. Yeah, so if they wanted to climb Mount Everest and they never did, you can climb Mount Everest in their honor.
How about it was like painting the house or something, or just maybe some stuff around the house, maybe
Yeah. If they always
decorating
wanted to have
something
like a
up.
fire pit in the backyard
There
and
you
they never
go.
finished getting to that, you could make one for them. And then every time you light a fire, it would be in
There you
a memory of them. That would be kind of
that's
fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So maybe here's a little idea. If you have an older family member, ask them what are some of the goals that they have that maybe they haven't,
That's right.
maybe they wanted to write a book and
Absolutely.
you could take their memories, record their memories, and then you can write that book for them in retrospect, kind of as a like a biography of them or something.
Yep.
That might be
And
fun. Oh,
that just brings up something too, Mary. Is like, if you have some elderly parents or grandparents, with technology today, and it's called a telephone, basically, you can videotape your loved ones and maybe talk to grandma or grandpa. Hey, grandpa, what was it like 60 years ago when you were growing up in the 40s or the 50s or whatever? It's like, what was going on in the world? Did some of my parents lived through the Depression and stuff. It's like, what was it like back then? When my grandparents were like, they went through World War I when my grandparents. So you talk to them about the past, videotape it, and keep it. So then when for some reason when they do go, you still have created those memories, and you could even play them at their funeral, or you play them during their Memorial Day that you have created for your family.
I love that. That is so
Yeah,
important. There was one little snippet I videotaped of my uncle. I was just being silly, and he always was like, "Don't take pictures of me," whatever. Like, oh no, I want you to share something. Someday you're going to be in heaven, so I want you to tell me something that you want to leave
that's
to
right.
your generation. And he kind of jokingly was like, well, be a good person. Like he did something silly or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what's nice is I have a video of him saying that, and it
Oh,
was like it's such a special memory that you're inspiring me to go find that video again
there you go. There
and
you
bring it
go.
up, which is nice. And like you said, with technology, like my husband for one of my birthdays, it was like one of the best gifts he ever gave me. He took all of our videos because even though we're not old,
Yes.
back when we had children, there
We had
wasn't like your phone you could whip out and videotape every single thing they did.
That's
So you
right.
had to take out the giant, camera, it was
It
such a
was like this.
I know. And so you never had batteries, you never had an empty cartridge, like so you didn't capture all those things on spontaneously.
Yep.
But the ones we did have, he had them digitized and he put them on our Apple TV.
Oh, your Apple Drive.
Yeah. So if we're ever like being nostalgic, and the kids sometimes around different holidays, they're like, let's
Yep.
watch the video. And it's pictures of them like opening gifts when they were little.
Uh-huh.
And we just sit around and laugh at ourselves that we were like, they do little dances and making like a big, and then my kids will actually take little gifts of themselves. Like my daughter, she made a video of her saying, here's your present or something and hands,
Yep.
so she said something really silly. She was only like 3.
Yep.
And she uses it as a joke. Like she'll send it out as a gift to someone by text, like, here's your present.
Yep.
And I'm sure I'm butchering that, but she can tell me if I'm doing that. But anyways, I thought that was super fun. Oh, Alex gave us another idea. She said my cousin and
Oh.
I ran the LA Marathon in my dad's honor.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
oh,
great
nice.
idea.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
5K, a marathon, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that is really, really cool. Okay, cool. So, Chris, thank you. This was a really great show. I loved all the
Yeah.
ideas you shared. And just as another reminder, our next show is on November
Yep.
21st,
Yep.
which is a month away. So, before that, again, we have the Coco movie coming up on November 7th.
Yep.
And I'm going to put the link in the, I'm looking for the link here.
Put
I'm
the
going to
link
put
in
it
the
in
chat.
the comments so you can see that. But in case you want to read it, it's m.thomasmillermortuary.com/Coco
Put the
movie.
movie.
And then you could register because, again, we have limited seating.
Yes.
We want to make sure we have enough popcorn and drinks
For
for everybody.
everybody. And we want to make sure everybody's seated. And so we can't fill the place. There's an occupancy limit. The fire
Tired.
department
Yep.
requires that I only have so many seating. So
Yep.
it'll be first come, first serve. So, and also when you line up, so, 300 people might sign up, but it's the first like 150 to 180 people that are at the door that will be allowed in.
Right.
And then we'll have to turn people away, unfortunately. So we just want
Yeah.
to make people aware of that. But it's first come, first serve, and the line starts at 6:30, and the doors open at 6:30. Movie at 7.
Awesome. And I'll be sending out messages. If you follow us on social media, I'll be putting out like what our count is. So if it's getting close, we'll let people know that they don't need to
Yes.
register anymore if it's getting full. I don't want to
Yeah.
disappoint anybody.
Yeah. If for some reason it gets like a sellout where it's like we've gotten way too many people, then we'll let people know so they're aware of it.
Yeah. And then in the future, we can plan other events that would be
Absolutely.
interested in. Yeah. So we had a paint event last month.
Yeah.
Was it last month?
Yeah.
It was so popular. We filled the room, 20 people, and walked away with beautiful remembrances in an artistic way of
Yep.
their loved ones. And then coming in February, we're probably going to do that one again.
Yes.
Because it was so popular. So, anyways, we're just loving bringing the community together and
Absolutely.
providing ways for people to honor their loved ones
Yeah.
and also some self-care
That's
because I
right.
think that's important too, right? As we talked about mental health. So that's so
right.
important. Okay. And then the last thing I was going to promote, as we talked about earlier, this next week on Halloween, we're going to be at the Dos Lagos Halloween event,
Yes.
Dos Lagos Shopping Center off the 15, Dos Lagos Drive off Wyrick and Cajalco. From 4 to 7 p.m. We'll be handing
Yes.
out candy, and our booth is going to be super cool with some authentic mortuary
Memorabilia.
items. So you got to come and
Yes.
check it out. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
So,
good.
all right. So until then, Chris, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week and stay on before we head off. But we'll say goodbye to our guests. And we're just under 30 minutes. All
Look at
right.
it.
Tell
Take care,
everybody.
everybody. Have a great and safe Halloween.
Yes. God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.